Great morning sa inyong tanan. Ari naman kita subong sa Friday edition sang Kadampig Mo. And this is Dr. Pauline Tan. As you see, we are in a different place right now. Actually, ari ako sa North Hub, sa clinic ni Dr. Patrick Nang.
Hi.
And Dr. Patrick Nang is our guest for today. And this is in celebration of World Heart Day, which is on September 29. So gusto ko gid nga maistoryahan ta na ang mga matters of the heart. So Dr. Patrick Nang is actually our newest cardiac interventional cardiologist, the youngest one in Bacolod City. So fresh from company siya training, pero he already have a lot of experience. But he will introduce himself to you. So Patrick, why don't you tell us a little about yourself?
Hi, I'm Dr. John Patrick Nang. Actually, I graduated from my medicine from West Visayas State University. I did my internal medicine residency also at West Visayas State University Medical Center. I furthered my training to cardiology at Makati Medical Center. After that, actually, I trained abroad at Korea University Hospital at South Korea for my interventional cardiology for at least a year. So after interventional cardiology, I returned here at Bacolod last December 2023 actually.
So we are happy because our young doctors are coming back to the provinces and they choose to be serving people in their hometown. Is this your hometown, John Patrick?
Actually, this is not my hometown.
Oh, okay.
My hometown is Iloilo, but since my wife is her hometown is here, so that's why I came with her.
Oh, but we really welcome. And you are the adopted son of Bacolod City.
Yes.
So we are in the same, kami sa same society, which is the Philippine Heart Association Negros Occidental Chapter. So of course, ang pinaka-common din nga balatian, Patrick, is actually worldwide.
Yes.
Usually
heart attack.
Heart attack, oo. So that's why inkuha ko si Doc John Patrick because he is a good resource person for this topic. So what would be the symptoms of heart attack?
Actually, heart attack, the most common symptoms is chest pain. So many persons or mga elderlies experience chest pain, having a heart attack. Usually others are mild and they don't usually mind it, but others will come to the hospital with a severe chest pain. So usually usually just give medications, proper medications to ease these symptoms. However, with those who having what we call ST elevation heart attack, so usually we do procedures.
Okay. So ano gid ang kinalainan nga chest pain? Kay kadamo man sang cause ng chest pain. So kisa ang mga teenager kakadto sa ako no chest pain sila. Pero what would warrant an investigation? What would be the characteristic of that chest pain na will magambal sa pasyente nga oy kilandan makadto ko sa ospital?
No, that's a very good question, doctor. So damo nagigsubong mga teenagers or mga early 20s they experience chest pain coming here sa clinic. So like I said, the number one cause of chest pain in the elderly or mga early 40s is bara sa aton nga heart. So but lately there is a surge of patients coming in chest pain. So it could the chest pain that would warrant na investigations are those who have ECG changes or other non-invasive na procedures like to the echo or treadmill stress test wherein we can find mga hina pag contract sa walls ng heart, or if there are ECG changes during treadmill, those are those mga chest pain nga need nga mga intervention or warrant further investigation like coronary angiogram. But others, those nga wala mga ECG changes, then put to the echo, there's no changes. Actually, because of COVID times, mga young generations are very actually health conscious, and syempre daw because of the advent of Google, nag-aambal na daw may heart attack or ano. That's why there are many people nga, many young generations came in for chest pain actually sa clinic.
So, kung let's say, for example, ara ka lang sa balay, di wala mo na ECG, no?
Yes.
So, anong klase ng chest pain nga mga baga nga, kuhan gini siguro, heart gini siguro. Anong
Okay.
characteristic?
So, usually the characteristic of chest pain that points out to heart conditions, those are heavy in character. So, kabugat. Ang others describe it as squeezing, daw ginakumos ang dughan.
Okay.
So those other symptoms like diaphoresis or grabe pamalhas, kapalalamig. So those are usually the chest pain that points to a heart condition or heart attack.
Okay, squeezing siya.
Squeeze.
Kuhan gid, kabugat gid kaayo.
Yes.
Tapos nang nagapangyamig sila.
Yes,
panglamig. Oo. So, how about may alat na siya, dalaga na siya sa kamot?
So, other symptoms like pain or numbness of the left arm, sa likod, dire,
Batok, no?
sa batok,
Oo, okay.
sakit sa pain, sa
Oo,
panga,
sa
or
panga.
even epigastric pain or sakit sa dalom, dire sa aton,
Ang sulok-sulok, no?
naton.
Oo.
So, those are symptoms of, those are also symptoms of a heart attack. So, these are what we call anginal equivalent or chest pain equivalents. So, usually we can see these symptoms sa mga diabetics and female. So, usually these are common sa muli nga set of patients. So, this can also be, like I said earlier, chest pain equivalent. So, pwede man siya gyapon, kung ano yung symptoms niya, pwede gyapon heart attack na siya. Or even though ang simple nga sa na dyspnea or gulayan maginhawa, this can be still symptom of chest pain.
So, delikado gali.
Symptom of heart attack, sorry.
Let's say, for example, nga magsakit ang sulok-sulok mo, that you will think, ay, wala ka lang natunawan.
Yes.
Well, it can be
so
actually
that's
a
why
heart
nga, if you have like epigastric pain and you were requested ECG, so don't be actually gani na makibot nga ginirequestan ka ang ECG because ang imo gikadto sa hospital or sa ER is chest pain. Kay this can be still chest pain equivalent. That's why gina-rule out lang nasa sa mga other mga doctors.
So, kinanan high index of suspicion. Gid kon may ara ka sang bugat, squeezing, naganam ang kamot, left arm, ang panga, ang batok.
Yes.
Ang ginaang bantayan or kisa sa sulok-sulok.
Yes,
Oo. So, anong sa una, ang age group ni medyo tigulang, pero subong, damo na gid nga younger pag no?
Yes, actually that's a very valid point, Doctor. So, before, maski sa libro, usually hindi na point ni naman mga around mga mid-40s, mid-actually 50s na mga age group, mga heart attack. But because of, I think because of innovation or technology, so many people tend to be inactive. So like sa una, may ara kita mga like before the advent of mga Grab ni siya or other mga technology or innovations here, which if we want something we would go to somewhere, so makadto ta sa SM mangita. That because of innovations of technology, we tend to be tamad. So mag-Grab na lang ko, ma-order na lang ko Grab, kaon na lang ko Grab or ano dira. So we tend to be inactive. So because of this inactivity, it follows nga naganubo ang age group of having a heart attack.
So sedentary lifestyle is one big risk factor,
Yes.
no? Oo.
So actually, it's a big risk factor right now because we're seeing heart attack as low as 30 years old.
Wow,
So,
grabe, no?
Yes. Actually, I also see this in outside the country where I train. We have a patient na 31-year-old he's having a 3-vessel heart attack.
Oh,
So
3-vessel na.
yes, 3-vessel, and usually it warrant already a bypass.
Kung 3-vessel.
Yes.
Okay, so grabe, subong sitting is the new smoking. Amo na gina. Sitting
Yes,
is the new smoking. So, how about the risk factors? You mentioned being diabetic.
Yes.
Ano pa yung risk factors?
So risk factors of having a heart attack is number 1, hypertension, diabetes, family history of having a cardiac problem or heart attack also, dyslipidemia or very high mga cholesterol profile, smoking. So like I said earlier, sedentary lifestyle or inactivity. So those are usually the most common risk factors right now.
So you mentioned being hypertensive, that means na may high blood ka,
Yes.
may diabetic ka, tapos gapanigarilyo pa.
So cigarette smoking also includes vaping. Yes.
Ga-vape pa, tapos nang wala pa nagagiho.
Yes.
Tapos maybe you can also include nga ang obesity,
Yes,
no?
obesity.
Obesity, kung let's say for example, in the ideal, imo nga body mass index, over ka sa linya.
Yes. So also actually also due to obesity, so some will have like sleep apnea, also is a risk factor for having
Kung may sleep apnea, so
or grabe magkuragok nga nagauntat,
So,
usually that's the sleep apnea.
for our layman, ang apnea means naguntat ginhawa during sleep because of kung overweight ka, dako ang imong adenoids kag ang imong dila.
Yes.
So nagauntat ginhawa. So I remember the other week, kabalo ka, may ko patient nga 132 kilos na teenager.
Yeah.
Kag may sleep apnea siya kuno, may OSA.
Yes.
Obstructive sleep apnea since 4 years old ang basang mother. And that's because ang namasakit siya kuno, isagit kuno ka bandol na iyang Yakult ginainom niya kada adlaw. So it has to do with the lifestyle.
Yes.
And also being in lifestyle medicine, ang isa pa gid is the lack of sleep.
Yes, doctor.
Oo, kaya ang lack of sleep pala, it will have a disbalance of your hormones na leptin and ghrelin, and your ghrelin is your hunger hormone. Nagataas ang hunger hormone mo, the next day mas nasige ka kakaon kay nataas, and ang leptin amo naman siyang hormone nga satiety kanubo na siya ya kung kulang ka sleep, so hindi kaya man busog per may ka lang gutom. Well, okay, let's just pause for a short break. Welcome back to the second half of Kadampig Mo, and with me is Dr. John Patrick Nang. Ang atong nga discussion is about heart attack or MI, myocardial infarction. So, we discussed already ang symptoms and also the risk factors. Ang next naman nga gusto kong pamangpaton kay Dr. Nang is how do you diagnose a heart attack?
Okay, so we diagnose heart attack, number 1, so based on ECG. So sa ECG, we can see na may what we call mga ST changes. So sa ECG, dala naman mabalaan kung it's a like bara lang or completely bara ang heart attack. So there's a distinction between the two based on the ECG, what we call ST elevation or ST depression na heart attack. So next is we can further check ang iyang to the echo. So if a patient having a silent heart attack or current na heart attack based on the to the echo. Pero sometimes with a completely bara na heart attack or ST elevation na heart attack, so we actually delay the to the echo, and we actually mas gusto namon nga at least maubra tani nga ma-coronary angiogram and angioplasty ang patient. So the procedure of coronary angiogram, angioplasty, usually amo ni siya ang pag-open up sang aton na vessel nga barado.
Okay. So before we go to that angioplasty and angiogram, no?
Yes.
Oo. Ang gusto ko nga pamangkoton nga, ang stress test na iya. Kaya hindi ba
Yes,
sa una, may stress test?
Yes. So a stress test actually is a test ni siya na could be treadmill stress test or two-vitamin stress test to para ma-stress ang heart naton. So during stress sometimes may ara kita so during stress test, so there ginabutangan kita sang ECG. So ginapadasig actually naton ang heartbeat naton, because sometimes during stress this is where we can find mga barasa. Although kumbaga there could be barasa aton nga heart or good or ano dira, which we cannot see sa aton nga resting to the echo or aton nga resting ECG.
Okay. So amo na siyang stress test naton, and they should go to the hospital kung may amo na to sila nga symptoms ng heart attack, so that they can get ECG gin nga una. And ang ECG mabasa na siya sang isa ka internist and cardiologist kung in doubt, and the cardiologist should be on board basta kung heart attack ang ginaistoryahan nato. So being a pediatric cardiologist, kami is more on congenital and rheumatic fever, rheumatic heart disease, myocarditis. Ang heart attack seldom lang na. So this is the turf really of the adult cardiologist. So you were talking about ang angiogram, no? And we are happy kay may arat na sang angiogram, angioplasty sa Riverside Medical Center.
So we are happy na there we have already a coronary cath lab here at Riverside Medical Center, which opened last January 2023. So prior than that, usually amon nga ginaobra sa mga heart attack, medications lang. And medications alone could ease the pain or pwede siya makontrol, pero ang bara sa aton nga heart, it will still be there. So ang bara na dala sa heart naton, it could progress, it could progress, so or slow down ang progress. There is a slowing of progression sa bara. So with that, ang second having a second heart attack is very high actually, if we don't do something about the bara. The medications will, like I said, will just hold or slow down the progression of ang bara sa heart naton. It will not lies or hindi yan na matunaw ang bara sa heart naton. So the only one actually that could completely reverse or para ma-resolve to ang bara is by coronary angioplasty or putting a stent or putting it or doing a drug-coated balloon sa a certain area kung hindi na barado sa atin.
Okay, so when we say angioplasty, so that means that the interventional cardiologist will have an access, a vascular access. May na siya nga ipasulod niya special nga catheter, yes, right? So sa dako nga ugat.
Yes. Actually, we are prior than early 1990s, prior 1990s, usually we access ang right natin nga femoral nga artery natin.
Sa singit.
Sa singit natin, sa right
Totoo.
groin natin.
Oo.
So recently, we're doing a right radial puncture.
So,
Actually.
sa radial
Yes,
na. Oh, so
less complication,
Mm.
easy for the patient,
Oo.
at least daw para sa interventional, ease man napit mo siya.
So, lain na gid subong sa una
Yes,
dako nga device, subong mas gamay na.
Gamay na lang,
Oo.
maabot lang kami sa catheter here. So,
Oo.
we access sa right.
Tapos pakadto na siya dahil sa
Yes,
heart naton. Kag pangitaon dito, ang patient ginabutangan sa ano na siya,
actually,
fluoroscopy.
Yes,
Oo.
actually we have a C-arm fluoroscopy at the riverside. So,
Oo.
single C-arm.
So, ang CR makakita na kung ara sa saktong nga lugar ang ina nga catheter.
Yes.
Mm-mm.
So, by doing a coronary angiogram, so we put a catheter here sa atong right na radial area, then we'll insert a wire going through the aton nga aorta or aton nga dakmaugat or what we call the outlet sa aton nga heart nato. So from there we are ginapangita namon ang left and the right coronary artery. So we inject a dye. So after injecting a dye, we can see if there is mga bara or there we can see a normal coronaries.
Okay.
So if there is bara, we what we call stenosis, we grade it to like a mild, moderate, and a high lesion. So usually the high lesion, so those
So,
are
ang coronaries, amo na siyang ugat na nag-supply
Ugat,
sa
yes.
heart. Ang dira na siya nag-take off alin sa aorta,
Aorta
which is the
natin,
biggest
yes.
artery of the heart.
So those are nga mga high risk na lesions or those who having a more than 70% nga para. So those are recommended nga ma-angioplasty nato or we put a stent.
Kung 70% kali nga barado, amo na nabot ang stent. Pero kung lesser,
Kung lesser, actually we have like the low risk lesion or less than 50%. So those are kumbaga warrants strict na cholesterol control, strict sugar control, also strict BP control. So
which goes back to lifestyle
yes,
modification.
lifestyle yapon. So we're doing that. Like the PHA is advocating na we should move. So at least 10,000 steps a day.
Okay. So actually ang PHA, Philippine Heart Association, ang isa ka advokasya is 52100.
Yes.
So 5 for 5 servings of fruits and vegetables. Ang 2 hours nga 2 hours nga ano gani screen time. So 2 hours lang nga screen time or 2 grams lang nga salt. And 1 hour of moderate exercise, 0 sugar drinks, and 0 smoking or vaping. So muna siyang 52100. I hope our audience can remember that. Pero kabudlay gali no? And if you don't mind me asking, ang initial nga procedure nga angiogram, angioplasty, what would be the complications or possible nga mga risks?
So it's a coronary angiogram angioplasty. It's an invasive procedure. So it's not like there's no risk doing the procedure. So every procedure may ara gid risk gid. So
yes, even galing man pa dentist, may risk man.
So maski even simple na tahi lang sa Pinas, there's also a risk.
Yes.
So it's no for me to say ay wala din risk. So, there is a risk. So usually we encounter risk less than 1% or lesser siguro. So it's a relatively safe procedure, but there's no hambal na there's no hindi gumambal na there's no risk. There's still a risk even though it's a safe procedure.
So the risk would be bleeding?
Yes,
Oh.
usually the puncture site because
Oo,
ang
puncture
ginapuncture
site.
ta is the high pressure na ugat or the artery, so there could be bleeding.
Yes.
Especially we're giving mga antiplatelets sa patient, especially those mga nag-heart attack.
Oo.
So
Bleeding is very
yes, so local
real, no?
yes, the local is bleeding, development of mga aneurysm or something like that, or there is a hematoma. So those are for the local nga risk factor nga sa risk or complications. So doing the procedure sa heart, so sometimes very least likely we could like what ginahambal naton nga dissect or
puncture.
yes, there
Oo.
could dissect or puncture the
Ma-dissect, oo.
coronary. Those are
So kapulol ba ang gina siguro for a doctor to experience that? Pero we should also tell our patient regarding this possibility.
Yes, we're telling the patient na it's not a procedure na wala risk. There's still a risk.
And pwede man mag-allergy sa
Yes,
anesthesia.
sa others, usually nag-allergy sa mga dye nga gina-inject
Sa
natin,
contrast
sa
media.
contrast media. So that's why we're doing it like a multidisciplinary approach, like refer naman sa allergologist prior to the procedure, something like that.
So that's good to know that every precaution is being undertaken to ensure the safety of our patients. Because primum nocere, first do no harm. No? So you know what? It's been great talking with Dr. Patrick Nang and getting a bird's eye view of what a heart attack is and the recent modalities of treatment. But of course, prevention is better than cure. Yes, prevention is better than cure.
That's why we are advocating that we should not be sedentary. We should do exercise or kung ano dira. Let's not just hindi ka mag-depend on technology. So kita mismo we should move. Kung pwede ka mag-stroll, even strolling sa mall, it could also help ang ating heart.
Yes, and also ang food, don't forget.
Yes.
We advocate eating whole food, real food, not ultra-processed. Remember, anything that has coloring, flavoring, and preservative, anything na kaputos, anything na dugay and expiry are ultra-processed food. Well, thank you so much, Dr. Patrick.
Thank you, Doctor.
Let me end with saying that take care of your heart because it is the wellspring of life. And we know that God is sovereign over all. Whenever we have problems of the heart, not just physical, but mental or emotional, we take it to the Lord. Thank you. God bless. Take care and see you next Friday. Thank you, Dr.